Hello everyone, welcome to Pharma Ally. Today we are here with the video on the topic cell cycle and cell division from Boost Your Basic series. So let's begin with the topic. Now what is basically a cell cycle? As you all know that cell is the fundamental unit in any of the organisms. So what actually happens during the cell cycle? It is a sequence of events which are occurring in the life of a cell. It's called as a cell cycle. That is, the different events occur when a cell is formed, when a cell grows, when a cell divides, and all this sequence of events is called as the life cycle of a cell. And there are mainly two phases in the cell cycle. The first phase is the interphase, and the second phase is the M phase. These are the two main phases, interphase and the M phase. Interphase is the one during which the cell undergoes growth, and M phase is the one during which the cell undergoes division. Remember, interphase is for cell growth and M phase is for cell division. Now, what actually happens in an interphase? As the word says, inter, that is, it is between something. Therefore, interphase is a stage between two successive cell divisions. That is, when cell division occurs one after another, in between that interphase occurs. And this interphase is the longest phase of cell cycle. And it is the longest phase, so definitely it is subdivided into three phases: G1 phase, S phase, and G2 phase. And all these phases comprise of the interphase, and the cells become highly active remain in this interphase. Now, what is this M phase, where the cell undergoes division? It is a period of division wherein M stands for mitosis or meiosis. I'm sure you all must be familiar with the word mitosis or meiosis. Of course, we'll look at it in detail in the coming up slides. The M phase involves karyokinesis. That is, it is the division of nucleus into two daughter nuclei. Division of nucleus is called as karyokinesis. And another process that occurs is cytokinesis, which is division of cytoplasm resulting in two daughter cells. Karyokinesis and cytokinesis, which occur in M phase, that is in mitosis or meiosis. Now let us look at the interphase part of cell cycle first. Interphase, it consists of G1 phase. This is also known as first gap period or first growth period. Now what happens in interphase? The cell performs RNA synthesis, protein synthesis, and synthesis of membranes. These are events which occur in G1 phase. Then S phase, it is the synthesis phase. Remember, S for synthesis. In this phase, the DNA is synthesized or replicated. Replication is doubling the amount of DNA or making copies of it. Or synthesis and making copies or replication which occurs in S phase. And G2 phase is the second growth phase during which the nucleus will increase in volume. The metabolic activities which are essential for cell division will occur during this phase. Various proteins which are necessary for cell division or cell growth are synthesized during the G2 phase. This is an overview of cell cycle. You can see in the picture, the interphase is divided into G1 phase, S phase, and G2 phase. G1 is the cell growth, S phase is the DNA replication, and G2 is where it prepares the cells for mitosis, that is for further cell division to occur. We'll of course look at each of these in detail, that is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and cytokinesis, which is division of cytoplasm. And this G0 phase, it is like a resting phase of cell cycle. It is out of the replication phase or replicating cycle, but the cell is in rest in this phase, and then it again back enters into G1 phase, and the cycle continues. Now, basically, there are three types of cell divisions: amitosis or direct division, mitosis or indirect division, and meiosis or reduction division. Mitosis and meiosis stands very important. Now, first we'll look at amitosis. Amitosis or direct division, it is the simplest form of cell division. During this division, the nucleus elongates and it little bit constricts somewhat in its length, and it divides into two daughter nuclei. That is, two daughter nucleus are formed, and again after division of nucleus, there is division of cytoplasm. This is what happens in amitosis. Let us look at mitosis. It is a type of cell division in which the cell divides into similar daughter cells, and these daughter cells are identical to the parent cell. That is, karyokinesis occurs in this, that is, nuclear division occurs, and the further steps which occur are prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Now, what is prophase? This phase involves condensation of chromatin material, migration of centrosomes, appearance of mitotic apparatus, and disappearance of nuclear membrane. Now, what are all these events? Let us look with the help of a diagram. This is this diagram representing prophase, wherein condensation of chromatin material, that is chromatin is a genetic material which carries information. This condensation of this material, centrosomes, that is the joining link between these chromatids, this is called as a centrosomes. This will migrate to the opposite ends. Appearance of mitotic apparatus, that is the spindles begin to form, and there is disappearance, that is this nuclear membrane is disappearing. It is not very apparent, it is disappearing. These are the events which occur in prophase. Next step is metaphase. What is metaphase? In this phase, the chromosomes are completely condensed. Here the condensation starts, but in metaphase, they are completely condensed, so they appear short. And all the chromosomes will lie at the equatorial plane. You can see in this diagram, metaphase, all the chromosomes are aligned at the equatorial plane. That is, they are in a line and they are short. Here you can see they are irregular, long, and scattered. But here they are aligned in a definite pattern at the metaphase plate. And the mitotic spindles are fully developed. And the centrosome of each chromosome is divided into two. This is the centrosome. You can see one is towards this side, one is towards the other side. That is, it is divided into two, and each is associated with a chromatid. These are the chromatids, which are the thread-like structures. So in metaphase, basically what happens, the chromosomes align at the plate in the equatorial plane and they are fully condensed. Anaphase. The chromatids of each chromosomes will separate and form two chromosomes which are called as daughter chromosomes. So these are the chromatids which are individual thread-like strands which are formed from the chromosomes, and they separate. And these formed chromatids are called as daughter chromosomes. See, this is one part of it and the other. Both move to the opposite poles of each other. That is, one moves this side, one moves this side. And so they are called as daughter chromosomes. This is what occurs in anaphase. Now, what is telophase? It is the final stage in karyokinesis, that is telophase. The chromosomes with their centromeres at the poles will begin to uncoil. They lengthen. The chromosomes will again start to uncoil, that is, they are becoming single. See, where earlier the chromatids were paired, now the chromosomes begin to uncoil. They will lose, lengthen. And now the nucleolus will again start to reappear. Earlier the membrane was disappearing. Now the nucleolus begins to reappear around the chromosomes. And we see two daughter nuclei are formed inside this one cell. This is one nuclei. This is one nuclei. So there are two daughter nuclei which are formed. And also the cytoplasm may be dividing to form two daughter nuclei again. So cytokinesis occurs, that is division of cytoplasm into two daughter cells. Here two nuclei are formed, then in cytokinesis we see two daughter cells are formed. So this is towards the end phase. The formation of new cell wall begins with formation of a simple precursor called as a cell plate. And this is the cell plate. It represents a middle lamella between the walls of two adjacent cells. The next type of division is meiosis. By this process, the number of chromosomes will reduce to half. That is, from the parent, the number of chromosomes will reduce to half. Therefore, it is called as reduction division or reductional division. The cells in which meiosis takes place are called as meiocytes. And this process of meiosis produces 4 haploid daughter cells from a diploid parent cell. As the numbers of chromosomes are reducing, you get 4 haploid daughter cells from a diploid parent cell. Meiosis is again of two types, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Meiosis 1 is a heterotypic division, which is the first meiotic division, and the second meiotic division is homotypic division called as meiosis 2. Again, this is having different steps which are involved. Let us look at the first one, that is the first meiotic division, which consists of phases: prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1, and cytokinesis 1. These are the subphases of meiosis 1. Now let us look at prophase 1. This prophase 1, which has longer duration, and it is subdivided into 5 substages, that is liptotin, zygotin, pectitin, diplotin, and dikinesis. Now, what are all this? This all 5 phases are part of prophase 1. We have not yet moved to metaphase or anaphase. We are just at prophase 1, and this all are substages in prophase 1. Now, what is liptotin stage? In liptotin stage, the volume of the nucleus increases. The chromosomes become distinct, long, thread-like, and they start to coil up. And they make a specific orientation, that is a bouquet-like arrangement inside the nucleus. The centrioles are divided into 2 and they migrate to opposite poles. Remember few specific things, that is the chromosomes are long, thread-like, and they form a bouquet-like arrangement inside the nucleus. This happens in liptotin stage. Now, what is zygotin stage? Zygotin is the intimate pairing of non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes. Now, what are these non-sister chromatids and homologous chromosomes? Homologous chromosomes are the ones which have the identical length, same genetic constituents, and the same sequence. Say these are the chromosomes which we are considering now. So these are the 2 homologous chromosomes. Assume that they are having the same length, same shape, and same genetic makeup. So they are homologous chromosomes. And what are non-sister chromatids? That is, one chromatid from here and one chromatid from here. This will be forming non-sister chromatids. Whereas if you take 2 chromatids from the same part, they are sister chromatids. These are non-sister chromatids. When these non-sister chromatids form a complex, it is called as a synaptimal complex, and the process is called as synapsis. So in zygotin stage, what happens is you get a synaptimal complex of the non-sister chromatids. In the Peckyton stage, each individual chromosomes split longitudinally into 2 similar chromatids. That is, one chromosome will split into 2 chromatids. That is, the thread-like structures are chromatids. And the homologous chromosomes will begin to separate from each other, and at a certain point they form a crossing. That is, when you see all the single chromatids, they will form a cross-like structure, and this crossing, that is 4 chromosomes will cross and form a chiasma or a tetrad, you can say, because 4 are meeting, it is a tetrad, also known as chiasma. And the chromatids will break at this point, and the broken segments are then exchanged with non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosome, and due to why we exchange them to bring crossing over or recombination. So in Peckyton stage, basically you get the chromatids, and these chromatids will be forming a crossing over or a chiasma region, or I say tetrad, that is 4, you get the 4 chromatids together, and these exchange with each other the genetic information to get recombination. This is also a part of prophase 1. Then diplotin. Diplotin is where the chiasmata will be visible in this phase because of beginning of repulsion between the synapsed chromosome. That is, here when we have formed a chromosome, now repulsion will begin, and this is called as desynapsis because they tend to repel each other. Here it is synapsis, here it is desynapsis. Then dikinesis. In this phase, the chiasmata begins to move along the length of chromosomes from the centromere towards the end of chromosome. That is, this is the centromere towards the end. The chiasma will keep on moving, and this process is called as terminalization as it occurs at the end. Let us have a look overview. So this is the liptotin stage. You can see the chromosomes are long, elongated, and they are replicately, and they tend to condense. Then this is a synaptimal complex which is formed, that is the synapsis begins, which occurs in the zygotin stage. You can see that is the chromosomes, that is the chromatids are pairing. This is the Peckyton stage. You can see a tetrad is formed here, that is the 4 strands or 4 chromatids will be forming a crossing over stage. Then here the synaptimal complex will dissociate, that is, it is called as desynapsis, and then dikinesis, wherein fragmentation occurs and there is displacement of chiasma. This is the end of prophase 1. Now let us look at metaphase 1. Here the spindle fibers become well developed. We finished with prophase 1. Now we have come to metaphase 1. The spindle fibers become well developed. The threads move towards equator and orient themselves in such a way that the centromere of homologous threads lie towards the poles and arms of equator. Now what does this mean? We'll understand with the help of a diagram. See, this is metaphase 1. wherein all the chromosomes are aligned at the equator and they orient themselves in a definite arrangement such that the centromere, this is the centromere, is at the lies towards the poles and arms of the equator. You can see here in such a way that the centromeres, these are the centromeres, centromeres will be lying towards the poles and arms of the equator, and these are the microtubules or spindles, and this is the metaphase plate. The next is the anaphase one. In this phase, the homologous chromosomes are pulled away from each other. So this is the homologous chromosomes. They are pulled away from each other. One moves to this pole, one moves to the other pole by the spindle apparatus. These are the spindles. That is, the centromeres will again be divided. That is, the chromatids of each sister chromosomes by connected by a common centromere. Now these are the sister chromosomes which are formed, and these are the bivalent chromatids. These are the centromeres, and the sister chromatids are connected to them. This is a reductional division, because you see them that they're separating towards the opposite poles. The centromere is split and it is carried to the opposite poles. Then telophase 1. In this case, the haploid number of chromosomes after reaching their respective poles become uncoiled and elongated. Now the haploid chromosomes, one has reached here and one has reached here. Then they start to begin uncoiling process and they start the elongation. And the nuclear membrane and nucleolus will be reappearing. Here, there is no nuclear membrane on here, it starts to reappear. And then the constriction of cell membrane occurs. That is, the process of forming two daughter cells begins. And two daughter nuclei will be formed. These are the chromatids which have moved to the two poles. They get uncoiled, they elongate, and then the membrane reappears. Then cytokinesis 1. After karyokinesis, cytokinesis occurs and two haploid cells will be formed. And in many cases, daughter cells which pass through a short resting phase or interphase, that is the G0 phase which we had seen is the resting phase. And in this way, we get two daughter cells. See, this is cytokinesis. You see them that they are contracting, and this is division of cytoplasm, and complete nuclear membrane will surround the chromosomes. Before we move further, do subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure that you press the bell icon so that we post a video, you don't miss out any of it. Also, we have our free WhatsApp groups where we are posting daily MCQs for GPAT, NIPER and other entrance exams. Also, pharma related job openings and other latest things. So if you wish to get added to our group, please drop a text on below mentioned number and we will add you to our group. Let us move further. Now, what is this? Second meiotic division or the homotypic, that is called as meiosis 2. During this division, the two haploid cells which are formed during the first meiotic division will further divide to form four haploid cells. That is, in first meiotic division, from one parent we have got two haploid cells. Now these two haploid cells will further undergo next meiotic division to form four haploid cells. And this meiosis 2 is similar to mitosis. The daughter cells which are formed in this second meiotic division are similar to their parents with respect to chromosome numbers formed in meiosis 1. Now again, this homotypic or meiosis 2 is having same following four phases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. We number them as 2 because they occur in meiosis 2. Now let us look at prophase 2. What happens in prophase 2? The chromosomes are distinct and they are having two chromatids. Each centriole divides into two, resulting in formation of two centrioles. That is, the centriole, which is the middle part, it divides into two and they migrate to the opposite poles. And the chromosomes are distinct, having two chromatids, that is the thread-like structures. And they move to the opposite poles and the nuclear membrane and nucleolus will disappear. This is what happens in prophase 2. Then metaphase 2. The chromosomes again get arranged at equator. We remember this meiosis 2 is similar to mitosis. So the chromosomes will be arranged at the equatorial plane. And the two chromatids of each chromosomes are separated by a centromere. That is, if this is a centromere, the two chromatids will be separated. In anaphase 2, these separated chromatids will now become daughter chromosomes and they move to the opposite poles. These chromatids will become daughter chromosomes. They will move to the opposite pole. That is, one moves upper side and the other moves to the downside. because of the spindle fibers which are attached to centromeres. We'll look ahead with the help of a diagram. Then in telophase 2, during this stage, the daughter chromosomes will uncoil. That is the daughter chromosomes which have moved to the opposite poles. You can see here in telophase, this is in anaphase, that is the chromatids will move to the opposite ends. Here in metaphase, they have aligned and now they move to the opposite end. And here in telophase, they will start to uncoil. And again, you see that the nuclear membrane and nucleolus will reappear and surround each of the chromosome. So the genetic material or the chromatin material gets enclosed inside the nucleolus. And thus it will be forming 4 haploid cells at the end of telophase 2 of meiosis 2. From prophase, see here is the prophase wherein the chromatids are attached to a centromeres. And then as they get attached with the help of spindle fibers at metaphase, they align at the plate. At the plate, then they divide and move to the opposite poles. Here in anaphase, they start to uncoil and they elongate to form individual chromatids. And then these chromatids, once moving in telophase, they get surrounded by a membrane and forming 4 haploid cells. So this is meiosis 2. Now let us look at few questions which can come from this topic. These are very simple questions. If you understand the process, you can solve them. The first question is, during which phase of interphase is the cell metabolically active? Now we have seen interphase has 3 phases, but when is the cell active? G1 phase, S phase, G2 phase, and all of the above. We have just now seen in the first slide that interphase is the one which is the longest phase of cell cycle. The cell is highly active in G1, S, and G2 phase. So in the whole of the interphase, the cell is active. So in this case, the correct answer is all of the above. Next question, condensation of chromosome occurs in prophase 1, prophase 2, anaphase, and metaphase. Now what are the events occurring in each phases? If you know that, you can get the answer. In metaphase, the chromosomes will align at the equatorial plane called as the metaphase plate. So is there any condensation occurring here? No. In anaphase, the chromatids of each chromosome get separated and they form 2 daughter chromosomes. This is called as anaphase, wherein you get 2 daughter chromosomes because of separation of chromatids. In prophase 2, the chromosomes are distinct with 2 chromatids. That is, each chromosome is having 2 chromatids and the centriole divides. We have all seen this in the explanation. When the centriole divides, it migrates to the poles and it forms 2 different chromatids. And these are again having the nucleum, the membrane is disappearing in prophase. And in prophase 1 is the one wherein condensation of chromosome occurs. And after the condensation, the chromosome moves towards the opposite pole. So basically condensation occurs in which phase? Prophase 1. The correct answer here is option A. Next one, in Peckytin stage of meiosis, the chromosomes appear dash. This we have seen, Peckytin was a part of prophase 1, which was a very long phase having Peckytin, Liptotin, then dikinesis and other phases. So the chromosomes are either single-stranded, double-stranded, 3-stranded or 4-stranded. Now we had seen that when the entire phase of prophase 1 was going, how were the chromosomes appearing? During the Peckytin stage, the chromosomes had a crossing, that is, they were forming a chiasmata. And here there were 4 strands, that was, it is forming a tetrad or a 4-stranded appearance, and due to which the chromosomes appeared as a chiasma of cross-linked. Therefore, the correct answer here is option D. That is 4-stranded during the Peckytin stage of meiosis. Next question. In meiosis, the centromere divides during dash. Prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1 or anaphase 2. Again, you need to know what are the events occurring in each phase. Then you can solve the question. In prophase 1, we have just now seen that the condensation of chromosome occurs. In metaphase, the chromosomes will align at the equatorial plane or the metaphase plate. In anaphase 1, we get 2 daughter chromosomes are formed. And in anaphase 2 of meiosis 2, since it is 2, it will occur in meiosis 2. It is a reductional and is similar, meiosis 2 is similar to mitosis. So again, they will align at the equatorial, the centromeres will divide and the chromatids will move towards the opposite poles during anaphase 2. So it is during these anaphase 2 that the centromere will divide and you get the shifting of chromatids towards the opposite poles. That is equatorial division which occurs. Therefore, anaphase 2 is where the centromere divides. In anaphase 1, it is you get two daughter chromosomes, but in actual equatorial division occurs in anaphase 2. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Stay tuned, more videos are coming up soon.